A snowy President's Day weekend in Salt Lake City, Utah, hosting the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT inside the Salt Palace Convention Center. Over 400 teams from around the country. The chaos looks like that. Volleyball courts spread throughout the masses of humanity. The 14-year-old Elite Division Championship takes place now on ESPN3. Arizona Storm and Wave Volleyball Club of California featured in our first of 3 matches today, a triple header of Triple Crown Volleyball NIT Championships. Thad Anderson with Angela Knopf. Angela, a 2-time first-team All-American at Colorado State University, who later put her in their Hall of Fame, a CSU Hall of Fame volleyball player. Angela, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's so fun to be here.
This is our, 39th year doing this now? It's
42.
4th, 5th year doing this together,
Yes.
and every year we see some fantastic volleyball. We've got 14-year-olds here today. You mentioned it during the semifinals. You and I were talking about it. These are 8th graders.
8th graders.
You'll forget that while you're watching when you
Yes.
see the talent level. Tell us about sort of the experience, the mindset of a kid waking up on a morning like this for a championship on ESPN3.
This is the most exciting moment for 14-year-olds. This is where their career starts. And ironically, we've seen so many of these athletes when they become in college on the stage, nationally on ESPN in the finals, vying for the college championship. So it starts here today.
Yeah, that's not an exaggeration.
No.
These players you see today will be featured prominently on top D1 college teams in the near future. Arizona Storm, our visiting team in today's championship. Their road to the championship looks like that. In the semifinals this morning, they beat Lone Star, and the Storm took them out 2-0. Rolling this morning. Arizona Storm had a dominant win over that Texas team in semifinals. What do we know about the Storm as far as style of play?
The Storm is a complete team. They all contribute together. Such a great chemistry they have, and they're physical. If you see these girls, you're going to be shocked that they are 8th graders. They're dynamic, high flyer, good athletes.
So a physical squad will be the profile
Yes.
of Arizona Storm out of the Phoenix area. Wave, our home team for the championship today in the semifinals. They beat Mad Frog this morning, also out of Texas. Mad Frog took that first set 25-15, and then Wave flipped it over. It's kind of like a reversal in wrestling. They got you on the mat, and then bam, you flip them around. And Mad Frog had it rolling in set 1, and then Wave took them out in 3. How did they do it? What is their style?
Defense, defense, defense. When people say defense wins championships, that was totally on display today. Their defense was incredible and was the reason why they were able to come back and win in 3.
Wave Volleyball Club, a well-known club around the country. Both are the coaches for these clubs, by the way. We'll talk more about them. Fantastic leaders of young programs. Storm and Wave featured in the 14th championship from Salt Lake City, the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT on ESPN3.
That honors your passion, hard work, and talent in every way. You can feel it in every panel, every element, every cut. Handmade for this very moment. For all that you put into the game, you should expect nothing less than perfection.
Arizona Storm preparing for this championship match in the 14s division of the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT from the Salt Palace Convention Center. Terry Spann, the club director at Arizona Storm, she got a semifinal win in the 14s at 8 a.m., then ran over to the 15s court. They got a win. They're going to play in the championship. Now she runs back and she coaches her 14s in their championship. Terry Spann, whose daughter Justine is a player at Colorado in the Pac-12 under Jesse Mahoney. Terry Spann, a great history with the Arizona Storm. And Terry Spann played at Arizona State. Tammy Leibel also played at Arizona State. So the Pac-10, Pac-12 well represented here today, and Tammy Leibel heads up the Wave effort for the 14s club as she takes them to the championship. Tammy spent some time in Olympic volleyball, winning a bronze medal in 1992 and playing Olympic beach as well, a decorated Olympian and indoor and outdoor player.
Yes, 3-time Olympian.
So Tammy Leibel has the head coaching duties for Wave Volleyball Club. They took second place a couple years ago here. We saw her in a 14s match a few years ago on one of our broadcasts, and we get a chance to see Coach Leibel again, along with Coach Span. Great to work with. Appreciate both of these programs and what they do, not only in terms of how well they play, but the way they teach their young players about the process and how to interact. And you know, in this particular environment, we're the media, and they come and they sit and talk with us. They fill out some information for us, and both of these squads did a great job helping us through and helping these young players learn about the process.
You can just tell by watching these athletes how well coached they are. They get the game, they understand the game. Their volleyball IQ is very high, and that is a result of great coaches. So really fun to see these athletes prevail under such amazing leadership.
Natalie Jones wears number 1. She's an outside hitter. She's serving to start the championship match for Arizona Storm. First attack for the Wave. Punched up by Jones, and that won't stay alive. Wave handles a side out on point number 1. Takes the 1-0 lead. Now for Wave, it's Holly Granger serving. Holly puts it in play. Swing by Layla Daniel is put up by Wave, and then at the net, Storm has Jordan Middleton.
Jordan Middleton is going to be really fun to watch. She's a dynamic athlete. She jumps so high, was able to prepare for that overpass. Luckily she didn't get an overcall, but what a great reach by her.
Great look from our net cam, and saw Jordan Middleton set up. She took the fake, she took the off option on the set and was right in position for a follow-up block. Follow-up put down, and now we've got Arizona Storm giving up the point. We've been side out on all the first 3 serves, so defense, receiving team doing their job.
Yep.
Not the defense, I guess, but the receiving team going straight to offense. We've never seen a deep rally yet. Arizona Storm in the white tops and the purple bottoms. Wave in the powder blue, and Wave has the point.
And Storm gets 1 overpass, and now Wave gets 1 overpass. So you can kind of tell these girls are a little bit jittery because they're putting a little more energy on their passes, which is making the ball come over the net.
Server is London Haberfield. London libero Diaz, not wearing the libero jersey in this match. He served it, and Storm back to work.
It's a great swing by Margot Smith that broke in play, and she stays aggressive with no block and finds the open court. What an advanced skill for a 14-year-old.
Passing the placement test, Margot Smith, point up for the Storm. Quick in the middle, and no touch at the net. Out it goes. That's a point for the Storm as they claw their way back to a tie. A couple of consecutive points for Arizona Storm. There you see Micah Grinowitz, number 6 at the net. There's number 9, Tatum Thomas, serving. Tough to receive, and Waves in trouble. That was called in. Line judge had it out, but our up official, the R1, said, yep, that got the line, and Storm on a 3-0 run now. Takes the 4-3 lead. Here's a look at that last hit.
Well, that's a really hard shot for a 14-year-old. A very sharp angle and a good view from the head ref to be able to see that ball was in.
It was Micah Grinowitz who had that previous attack, and now the service ace from Tatum Thomas. Tatum, whose sister played at Alabama, finished up her career and moved on to a professional phase of her life. Now the younger sibling coming up, and she's just back-to-back aced. Started playing club volleyball at 6 years old, Tatum.
Wow. There's 3.
Hat trick.
Yes.
3 consecutive aces from Tatum Thomas.
That is against the libero for Wave, who I've watched and is very, very strong. So that's one tough serve.
Coming at it again, and this time it's played up by Christiana Braswell. Storm is smoking now. They were down 3-1, including those 3 aces mixed in. They've had a 7-0 run, the Storm.
And keep in mind, the last semifinal match, Wave was also down big against Mad Frogs and then kind of got things together. But again, it started like this. A lot of errors for them, which are giving free points to Storm, which they just can't do.
That swing by Delaney Carl was underneath it. She was high on it. Out of bounds it went, and Storm 9-3, an 8-0 run into that timeout called by Wave Volleyball. The 2018 Triple Crown Women's Volleyball NIT is brought to you by Triple Crown Sports. Get in the game at triplecrownsports.com. And by Bosnia. It's all about perfection. Bosnia, official volleyball of the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. And also by prepvolleyball.com, your #1 destination for club, high school, and college volleyball news. prepvolleyball.com.
So now we see out of the timeout, the Wave, wonderfully coached, has now switched their serve-receive rotation to get a different look, hoping to get this much-needed side out. And Tatum Thomas still keeps the run going, and after a timeout, if you can keep that run, that's going to be crucial for another ace.
4 aces in this visit to the serve line. 10-3. Terminating is Layla Daniel.
Layla Daniels is so fun to watch. She is dynamic. She jumps so well. She's got great range. She found the hole in the block right there, and I love the celebration they have after that.
There, Wave finally breaks it up with Delaney Carl. That was 9 points on the serve, a 10-0 run for the Storm.
In this game, you have a philosophy of no more than 2 points in a row. So for that, they gave up a huge run, which now they have a lot of work to do to come back into the game.
Delaney Carl serves, and it's a short-lived opportunity to make a run for Wave. Delaney Carl in the semifinal. Wave is missing one of their top players, who's just a 7th grader, by the way, an outside hitter home
and
with the flu.
And her name is Julia Blychef, and they all wanted to give a shout-out to her, by the way.
Also have a middle who sprained an ankle yesterday, so they're down a couple of key players. Delaney Carl, who served a moment ago, was moved to the outside in their semifinal match. Hadn't played there all year long.
She's a right side.
In the tournament.
Yep.
Goes to the outside, they win the semifinal.
Yep.
Delaney wearing number 6. She served a moment ago, and there you see her. What a great experience. I mean, what a seasoning experience for a 14-year-old volleyball player to be thrown into a position like that.
Absolutely.
And have a great match.
Well, what I'm most impressed about is Julia was one of their really top strong hitters, and this team has bonded together and really shown the resilience and the teamwork that it takes to surround each other to elevate the play, which I'm so impressed.
Something that Tammy Leibel talked about, the head coach for Wave. She said, you know, this has been a fantastic experience for us because young players learn how to adjust, adapt, take on roles, and fight through a little bit of unplanned, maybe not adversity because you don't want to over-dramatize. Hey, you're having a great time on the court, but unplanned reaction to strategy and to expectation.
And what people understand is volleyball is such a great catalyst for life lessons that they will take this far beyond these years in terms of life and being down and persevering, which is such a great avenue to learn.
Micah Grinowitz, one of my favorite names, Micah Grinowitz.
Grinowitz. Another example of a dynamic athlete on the Storm team. Brenna has great range, great jumping ability, fun to watch.
That serve, a tough one from Margot Smith. Wow, the Storm serving has been the difference in set number 1.
100%. They always say the most important skills in volleyball are serving and passing, and right now, the Wave is having a difficult time getting their setter in system so they can side out.
That is long. Well, their ratio of aces to errors is well in control this set. They can error a couple of times.
Absolutely, and they definitely want to keep the pressure on Wave because they know how good of a team that they are.
Server for Wave is Brooklyn Burns. Brooklyn a setter and opposite, puts it in play. Nice work at the net for Wave by Holly Granger. Granger cleans up a point. Leaves Brooklyn Burns on the serves. Baking and skiing, two of Brooklyn's hobbies. Baking and skiing.
Two
Came to the right place. I wonder if she's hanging around. I wonder if she'll hang around after the match and get some skiing in up at Park City.
Oh.
Great snow day here in Salt Lake. Storm pries away a point. At number 8 right there's Layla Daniel. Layla, one of just an endless list of dynamic performers on this Storm squad. Punched over by Christina Alpisar. And there was got some net contact for Wave. So really nothing working here in the first set. Storm 18-7. As you said, Wave against Mad Frog, they lost 25-15 in set one of the semifinals.
It was a lot bigger deficit than that. They actually came back quite a bit towards the end.
Yeah, to lose by 10 was actually, they gained momentum in the set too.
Yes.
Terry Spann looks on from the Storm sideline. Tammy Leibel of Wave, I asked her about that set one in the semifinal when they got wiped out. She said, I think we were jittery. I think we were a little nervous. A lot of these players, they're young. They haven't been in that environment before, but they found their bearings and got to work. And his points going to Wave. And you talk about this a lot. There's Tammy Leibel kind of working her team through set one, gaining momentum in the set two. If you're not going to win set one, you want to have a good feeling about yourself, maybe make a couple of adjustments and figure a few things out before you turn to set two. And that's what happened earlier this morning for Wave. They'll try to do the same here, just build a little mode through the backside of set one.
They need to really get their serving pass game down and then let their defense start frustrating Storm to really start some more points.
Couple of nice ups in the back row by Anna Pringle. Anna digging it up, keeping the ball alive. Can't get to that one off the howitzer from Jordan Middleton.
Jordan Middleton again loves that, what we call a three-set, where she goes a little off-center, found the back right corner. She gets used a lot in this offense. It is a huge piece of their success.
Jordan Middleton told us she's Samoan, said I'm freakishly tall.
Which is pretty great to be freakishly tall in volleyball.
Extremely goofy and an air guitarist, she said. Tough angle leaning back. That one got a little too far behind Holly Granger, and out it goes. And the Storm on now to point 20 as they steamroll toward a set one win, a best of three format, playing a 25 rally score, and if a third set happens, we play to 15. Teams will change sides after the first set. Wave with a chance to get to double digits here on the arm of Delaney Carl. That's played by the Storm. Deep, and from the back row coming down is Micah Grinowitz. Timeout called by Wave. Grinowitz puts away point 21 for Arizona Storm. Storm 21, Wave 9 in set number one of a best of three from the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT from the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake City. Arizona Storm has the serve. It's Natalie Jones. We're in the 14s championship of the elite bracket of the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. Thad Anderson, Angela Knopf from the Salt Palace Convention Center. Tough receive for Christiana Braswell. And that point will end up on the side on 4 contacts for Storm. It'll be Wave serve with a microphone takeout. I think that was Jordan Middleton who got us some in-match audio, kicking over the mic stand as she worked by the R1 stand. Nice crowd gathered around the championship court. We'll be here all day long with the 14s, then 16s, then 18s championships. Tough rundown ball for Anna Pringle. That was deep and played by Danica Young. Big block up front. 14 and 36. Claire Deller and Christina Alpizar at the net.
That's what they need right now. They need a spark of energy, a spark to stop their best outside hitter, and that was a great block, nicely formed.
Serve into the net. It's point 22. So doubling up here. Arizona Storm 22-11. is the count.
And that's what you don't want to do. After a great block like that, you don't want to go back and miss your serve. You had a little bit of momentum, and you got to keep that ball in to get your team a chance.
Tip is played by the Storm block. And underneath that swing, going long, Delaney Carl out.
Again, she's learning a new position right now, and it's just learning as she's going. She's got a great extension to her arm. Just missing the court just by a few inches, so she can get on top of the ball a little bit more. I think she'll find more success. But right now, Kai Vakis has come in to replace her to hopefully create some momentum for her team.
Server is libero McKenna Douglas. Douglas deep to serve. It's interesting on these, there's 60 courts, 60.
60.
With over 400 teams, Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. Good serve by Douglas, puts Wave in trouble. Doesn't really go as an ace, but that's essentially an ace, as Douglas's serve just left Wave with no offense.
We'll give credit to Terry Spam on that, because she called Area 5 serve. You always serve the girl who just comes in the game because she's nice and cold, and there they go again at her again, knowing they can get a few points out of someone just off the bench.
Yep, good awareness of strategy from the sidelines and from the serve line. Good swing for Kai Vakis, is played back, and Wave's gonna get it through.
Give that point to Christina Broswell, the libero for Wave, number 21. What an incredible cover, where she took the ball from the block and was able to keep that play alive, and that is a result of her effort.
Served by Christina Alpisar. Ooh.
Wow.
That's some smooth offense there for Arizona Storm with Layla Daniel on the hammer. And that will put point 25 on the board for the Storm.
What an incredible finish by Layla. If I'm having game point, I'm definitely putting her up in the middle. Wonderful swing across court. Kill for game 1 win.
Fourth kill for Layla Daniel. Daniel's fourth kill is a team high in set number 1 and puts her team on 25 points, 25-12. Set 1, it's best of 3, so Storm wins another. They win the championship of the 14th Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. Baden is proud to be the official volleyball of the 2018 Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. For nearly 40 years, Baden volleyballs have set the standard for quality and craftsmanship, delivering world-class game balls to clubs, colleges, and conferences across the country. Baden, it's all about perfection, thanks to Baden Sports, providing the official volleyball of the 2018 Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. Well, one set in the books. The Arizona team takes set 1 over the California team. Wave Volleyball Club of California is out of Del Mar area, and they take a loss in set 1, but they did that this morning in the semifinals. Wave got wiped out 25-15 in their first set earlier. They'll try to battle back. Storm on the brink of a championship. Thad Anderson, Angela Knopf, who played her college volleyball at Colorado State, now in the Rams Hall of Fame, no less, the 2-time D1 first team All-American. And, oh, hey, look, Dave Rubio.
Yeah.
What happened? How'd you get here?
Magic.
Dave Rubio, the head coach at Arizona. It's going to be, what are my notes, 27th year coming up in Arizona.
That's right.
32nd overall. Coach, thanks for some time here with us in set 2.
Absolutely. It's nice to be here. I'm honored that you asked me to be a guest.
I have the good fortune of calling some Pac-12 volleyball. Of course, coaches in the Pac-12. And we'll talk about this youth scene and what you're doing here. But I guess before we get there, Arizona volleyball and Pac-12 volleyball, let's make this your elevator speech. Where are we at with Arizona volleyball, with Pac-12 volleyball?
Well, we certainly are in a rebuilding phase. Last year was a down year after having a terrific year the year before. We graduated 5 seniors from the 26-17 class, and so we're a little bit down this year, but we feel pretty optimistic about coming in 2018.
And Pac-12 volleyball, that's got to be a blast to coach night in, night out in that conference.
Not quite sure I'd call it a blast. Certainly competitive.
Blast for fans, I guess.
Certainly keeps you on your toes, and the reason why we're out here. You know, we're out here looking at kids, and certainly a lot of talent here at this tournament.
Yeah, so Coach, I played well before these girls were born.
Right.
And just seeing these athletes now, they're incredible. What's your take on the progression of the athlete over the years, and what are you seeing out there?
Well, certainly the landscape of volleyball in the last 15 years continues to change, and certainly within that time span, it's been pretty dramatic. I mean, the amount of kids that are playing is terrific. It's the #1 high school women's sport out of all the sports that are being sponsored in high school. So that bodes well for us and certainly for club volleyball. So tournaments like this are happening all around the country right now. And it certainly helps the recruiting, makes recruiting a lot more difficult, and the talent level has been just exceptional. Like really, in a match like this where there's several kids who are going to be Division I prospects and are Division I prospects at a young age at 14.
At 8th grade.
Yeah.
8th grade,
yeah.
I think I was hitting with a fist. Didn't even know what I was doing, so quite impressive.
Yeah.
Natalie Jones just went into the bleachers to keep the ball alive. Fantastic scramble play by Natalie Jones. And here it is. Take a look at Jones.
Great court awareness, knowing that she needed to keep both feet on the ground, and then unfortunately wasn't able to get that block. But
Waterfall on the block. Claire Deller had the slide, and the Wave got the point. Now we're even 1-1. Arizona Storm. The coach Dave Rubio coaching in Arizona. You've got an Arizona Storm squad here in this match. It's trying to win. This will be the 3rd time they've won a championship at this event. Terry Span's 17's won, her 18's won. That was Willow Johnson, Khalil Lanier, Katie Oleksak. The whole list goes on. Justine Span. I was talking to Coach Span earlier, and I said, hey, Dave Rubio's going to join us during your match. And the first thing she said was, he's my mentor.
Well, I'm honored that she feels that way. She certainly has, made an amazing impact at the Phoenix volleyball level and the club level. And, the team that you just mentioned was an all-star team. And what's happened, the thing that I think is most impressive is that she continues to kind of produce great players and great teams.
Well, we're talking about, this is a big recruiting event, obviously, and Coach Span said, I said, how is he your mentor? She played at Arizona State.
Right.
As did Tammy Leibel. We got two Sun Devils over here. We got the Arizona coach on the right. We apologize, fans, for bringing this, but Coach Span said, I said, how has he been your mentor? Have you spent a lot of time with him? She said, not really, I just call him up. She said, as a club director, I need help. And he's been more than gracious and generous with giving us information. But she said one of the important factors for her, and she took this team that's playing right now when they were 11 years old, right after her daughter graduated, rolled back to the 11s. She said one of the big things she likes to teach them about is the recruiting process and the whole college pursuit. And she's gone to you numerous times to pick your brain about that. So what are the pieces of advice you would share with a family about how you go into the whole process?
Well, the recruiting, breaking the recruiting code young is I think an important part of learning how to get recruited at a young age, because right now it's really become, the recruitment continues to get younger and younger and younger. For example, for us, we're finished with our 2020 class. We're now only recruiting 2021 class, which is the current freshmen in high school. So those parents, it's important for them to understand what they need to do now in order to get exposed. And exposure is a critical component to being recruited. And the other part of it, know what level that you should be playing and what you could potentially play in college. And I think those two factors are the things that the parents need to understand.
How do those girls know when they don't know what level they're at? What do they do when they're only 14 years old and they don't know how they're going to develop? What's the best strategy for those teams?
The key is club coaches. And someone like Terry has, really done a terrific job of getting her kids in front of the right coaches and talking to those coaches. The club coaches are the conduit for the college coaches, and that's really the key. And those guys know through trial and error and through the day-to-day process of practice of what potential level they can play at. And so they need to direct those players and those parents to those coaches where they think that they can potentially play.
That's great advice, Coach.
Arizona Storm takes the lead back at 5-4 on the finish from Micah Grinowitz. Grinowitz has been fun to watch throughout the match. She's got 3 kills now in the match.
I love this swing by Micah. She was a one-on-one block, found the angled area 5. A lot of success in that corner with them only blocking a solo block on him.
Tatum Thomas, by the way, has 4 assists. She also has 4 aces, right, Angela? Wasn't
yes.
that 4 aces on that by Tatum Thomas?
Yes, that big run.
Arizona Storm now takes the lead back. The Storm, earlier today in their semifinal win, they had to battle deep in both of the sets. They swept 2-0, but they had to fight. They were down in the 20s in their first set. They got down big early in the second set to, was that Lone Star they were playing this morning?
Absolutely.
And really, even though they swept, they had to work.
Their motto as a team is one game at a time. They respect all their opponents as well as each other, and they give 100% every time they're on the floor, and they are relentless.
Coach, back in the day when Angela was playing at Colorado State, they were part of the WAC, I think, at that point.
For 1 year.
For
then
1
Mountain
year, and then you got
West,
the Mountain West. And Coach, of course, you've been in Arizona long enough that you were there at that time. Do you remember Angela? And what do you remember about her?
Very aggressive, terrific player. I mean, really good. I mean,
I'll give you that $5 later after.
I don't. You never played them at CSU, right?
We played one time.
I think we played one time.
At Moby? At Fort Collins?
I think so.
We played it.
And I
because
think,
if so, I was doing the public address announcing.
No, I think we played at a tournament where you guys came to and we met like an off.
And now, did you play with one of the Penfield sisters?
Janie was older than I was.
Okay.
So she left when I was a freshman.
Okay.
Yes.
So we had a twin. One of the twins was Carrie Penfield, and the other one, Janie, played up for CSU.
Yeah, well, we believe later today in one of our matches we'll be talking with Colorado State head coach Tom Hilbert, who's been to, I think 23 consecutive NCAA tournaments, 22. He's got a player for his squad right now, Katie Oleksak, who played for Arizona Storm.
Two-time
Setter now
champion
for
here at
Colorado State University and played in our televised matches in the past.
Speaking of,
she was also Setter of the Year.
She was All-American and she was MVP of the conference.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, terrific young lady. A lot of, what's happened in Phoenix in the last 10 years has been just number of top Division I players that are coming out of that area.
And of course, you got a healthy rivalry up and down the road. Here's the serve-in play by Micah Grinowitz, and the Wave gets the point. They're back within a couple of points now, 9-7. Wave needs to win here in set 2 to keep it alive. It's a best of 3. We go to 15 points if we play a third, but right now Wave's got work to do to keep this alive in set number 2.
Speaking of setting, number 9, Tatum Thomas for Storm, has done a great job running her offense right now. She's done some high-level plays. Setting one hand into her middle in the pass was tight, so I've been really impressed with her distribution of the offense and consistency of her sets as well.
Thomas with 6 assists in the match. Brooklyn Burns has 8 assists for Wave, by the way, as Burns is hanging up some numbers. And that libero, Christiana Braswell, we've seen a lot of her. You said it, Angela. Good little libero, and she was struggling with that Tatum Thomas serve earlier, but everybody out here, we've seen really good things from all weekend long. Here's Natalie Jones, who flew into the bleachers a moment ago. She's serving. Tough overhand dig from the libero, McKenna Douglas. And Douglas kept that alive, and the Storm converts and capitalizes. Great point. Coach, I was going to mention, you're at Arizona State. It's great to have a healthy rivalry. Storm is out of the Phoenix area.
Right.
Arizona State volleyball, rebuilding, reworking themselves.
Yep.
I imagine, even though everybody wants it to be, let's all fight and be enemies and be rivals, you'd love to see them get to a great point.
It really helps when you have 2 top-level programs in the same state. And a lot of it is when the teams are playing on a Friday and a Saturday night or on a Friday and a Sunday, is that when you have both teams having to play and prepare for 2 great teams, then they can't just focus on one team. So that really makes a big difference. ASU is certainly in a good place. They have a terrific young coach, and they're right in the middle of great volleyball there.
Yeah.
I mean, and then so the opportunity to recruit top-level talent is certainly there in front of them every week.
Assistant for Arizona Storm is Ashley Castle, and Ashley ended up playing at Hawaii, but she started her college volleyball in the state of Arizona and then moved on to Hawaii. High energy assistant for Terry Spann. This point is going to the Storm.
Well, the interesting thing about Ashley Castle came to our camp when she was a sophomore and a junior and ended up going to ASU and then transferring, but terrific young lady, one of the first top players to come out back in that era.
Sorting out that last point, Tammy Leibel is working with her rotation. Coach of the Wave getting him in position. 13-7, Storm rolling here. Received by Braswell. To the right side, that's hit by Delaney Carl. Coming back at you from the Storm. What a great angle. Straight down the net.
For a 14-year-old to be able to hit that sharp at an angle is quite dynamic. That is a very difficult shot, and she makes it look like she's a college player able to do that. But give that credit also to the release set by number 7, Marley Dickerson did a great job taking that dig and putting it right on the net for her as well.
That was the 5th kill for Layla Daniel in this match. She's a team high for the Storm. In fact, a match high with those 5 kills. Free ball coming across. In the middle, and block is up. Jordan Middleton solo puts it down. The 2nd block of the match for Jordan. And a timeout called by Wave. Wave takes timeout with Arizona Storm rolling up 15-7 in set number 2. Triple Crown Sports proud to produce the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. Whatever your game, softball, basketball, baseball, lacrosse, volleyball, treat your team right with destination locations, signature memories, and professional staff. Get in the game at triplecrownsports.com. That's triplecrownsports.com. Coach, I know you're here to recruit. If you don't mind, at the next timeout, we'll let you go. But if we can hold you hostage on the headset just a little longer. Dave Rubio with Arizona Volleyball, embarking on his 27th season at the helm, 32 years overall. Great run at Arizona. I know you've been a champion of grass tournament volleyball. You've sort of touched all angles of the game. How about this? Salt Palace Convention Center, 60 courts here. What have you seen in the evolution of the youth tournament? You mentioned there's a lot of them going on this weekend.
Right. I was actually did a recruiting seminar in Las Vegas. There must be 1,000 kids and more than that over in Las Vegas, and I did a recruiting seminar there. So again, I think the number of players that are playing just shows you the health of the sport. I think that terrific young coaches like Terry Span, and it's really good coaching. I mean, I'm watching these two teams battle, and the functionality and the precision and the skills and the fundamental training is really, really.
Well, I know mostly you came here for the snow. Came to Salt Lake, see a little snow coming from Tucson. But you also came, there's just a tremendous amount of talent floating around. The match we're watching here is mostly 2022 grads, and like you talked about, you've already closed your 2020 class, right?
Right.
So these kids are just a year or two away from really being in the spotlight of the process, and they're already getting there.
Right. I mean, we're certainly identifying players in that class. We've spent a lot of time looking at the 22 class and some of the 23 class, identify the kids that have a chance to grow up, and that's the variable in recruiting. Who's got the crystal ball that can really predict how these guys are going to be in 5 years.
Wave going to offense outside. Big swing from Anna Pringle. Storm handles it. Coming back with some thunder. Layla Daniel goes again. Daniel, her 6th kill of the match.
I love her enthusiasm. She just celebrates every kill, and what a great swing. Found the hole in the block, able to go to middle back. But what you don't realize is how hard she hit that ball. That's quite impressive.
Good ball from Wave, finds a gap in the defense. Yeah, when you talk about the after kill Layla Daniel, I think she's trying to show off again for the college coaches, showing her hops even in her celebration.
I know.
She's
well,
elevating.
I jumped higher when I celebrated than I did when I actually played. So it's good training for jump training as well.
That ball's down to the floor, and Wave tallies again. They're back within 6 points, trying to stay alive in set number 2. Coach Rubio, when there are certain physical traits you're looking for, but what do you look for intangibly? And every program might have a few different things they look for. What does Arizona look for intangibly with players?
Well, ultimately, philosophically for me, it's always been about the intangibles. For a player to make it in college, it's really less about the talent than their ability to have a great brain and be able to grind and be able to have the ability to be tough enough to handle the adversity that comes with being in college. Every former college athlete will tell you that. And it's as much as you share that information with the incoming freshmen or for the kids who are looking to be prospective college students, you really don't know about them until they're actually in college and dealing with the things you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Extended point here, Storm puts it in the net, and Wave has their 12th point, down 18-12 now. With a sub coming in for Wave, it's Christina Alpisar. She'll check in and pound the volleyball a couple times, give it away to the server for Wave, who's going to be Brooklyn Burns. Burns has 8 assists in the match, leading the way for Wave. Now 9 assists for Tatum Thomas for the Storm. Here's a chance. Nicely dug by Christiana Braswell. That dig's going to sail out. Over 400 teams here at the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT, so you're talking, you know, you really run the math all the way up, probably around 4,800, 5,000 players in the Salt Palace Convention Center, 60 courts going on. How do you, and you said it, there are multiple events going on this weekend.
Right.
But this is, you're not sleeping much these days, are you?
No. In fact, you know, coaches are coming in for a day and then leaving and going to another time.
Yeah.
You know,
As long as all the flights don't get canceled, right?
Yeah.
There's a snowstorm going on out here.
yeah. I woke up this morning, I'm like, I know I'm not in Tucson.
What are the, I mean, maybe this is it right here, for your windows of recruitment, what are the big, really busiest windows?
Well, certainly when the first January 15th is the day that we're allowed to get back out, and that's going to go all the way to May. So these next few months are really hopping for us. We're out almost every weekend.
So for an NCAA tournament team, the coach basically gets maybe a month between tournament end and recruitment start.
Right. Yeah, you're not much rest. That one window right after end of December to middle of January is about the only time you have.
Good play at the net for Wave by Holly Granger. Granger is there to handle the opportunity, and back within 4 now. Wave trying to force set 3. They're down 0-1 and down 4 points. Could use a couple of serves here off the arm of Anna Pringle. Good receive by McKenna Douglas. Good dig in the back by Pringle. Got it. Do we have a touch? Yep, we got a touch up front. Here comes Wave Volleyball. Out of Del Mar, California, fighting their way back. Tammy Leibel pushing buttons, trying to force a third.
Very, very, very tough to see here, but it just went off, I think, just like the right finger of number 6, Micah, and I think that allowed them to get that point.
There is no replay review system here,
No,
but that one did
no
prove the
challenge
call was
system.
right. We saw some
No.
finger movement. Serve is wide and out. Well, we've gotten to the point in this set now where we're just going to keep coach here for the rest of the set.
I like it. People should have a piece of paper down and writing. I want to be writing all this information that we're learning out right now. It's great advice from Coach Rubio.
That is long and out. After a little surge from Wave, we're looking at -5 on the scoreboard with the serve coming from Margot Smith for Arizona Storm. Look at that throng of people behind our court. Matches going on all around the building. 14 through 18-year-old play. We've got net issue for Storm, and Wave takes the point. In the Pac-12 this year, Coach, maybe you don't want to, I'll let you off the hook easy, but I'm just curious, who did you love watching? What player or players did you really enjoy this year in the conference?
Well, certainly, Catherine Plummer is just so physical and at such a young age. You know, she was NCAA Player of the Year as a sophomore.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm Stanford, I'm loving that. If I'm everybody else, I'm like, God, I can't wait for the next 2 years to go by as fast as they can until she graduates. But she's a terrific player, one of the best that's ever played the conference since I've been there.
Yes, she's had her debut here at Triple
we had
Crown
a
when she was
chance to watch
14.
her from this close
From
right
the beginning,
here.
being like, that girl is 14 and she's already 6'5" or 6'4", and we're like, she's got a bright future.
Playing for T Street and tearing it up out here at the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT, now at Stanford. Yeah, tough gig for Kevin Hambley, right? Here, have Catherine Plummer.
Yeah, she's terrific, and she's just one of several on that team.
Yeah.
You know, so they're going to be very good next year. Certainly, the odds-on favorite to win the conference again.
Yeah. That point goes to Wave. They're clinging on, down by 4. Arizona Storm 22-18. For Wave right now, they're led in kills by a couple of players. Al Pisar has 3, and Claire Deller has 3, as does Anna Pringle. Now 11 assists for Brooklyn Burns. 5 digs in the match for Anna Pringle. That is a match high. And kills for Arizona Storm. Layla Daniel with 7. We've seen Layla dynamic in this match, number 8. She of the post-kill celebratory hops. Wave trying to get back within 3 points. They had to give that ball away. Will they go down by 5? Underneath it, and Jordan Middleton sent it long. Important moment now for Wave, down by 3, and that's known by Terry Spann. She knows what's going on. Timeout taken by Arizona Storm at 22-19. Storm on top, up 1-0. Well, the earlier here in the week at the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT, matches of course going on now, but there was a college camp on Friday, the unique opportunity to get training from college coaches. 12 different courts, 24 colleges were on hand, so 2 coaches from different colleges per court with 350 participants. Unsigned senior and junior workout was on 23 courts, 100 plus college coaches there recruiting, and 150 plus athletes in the junior and senior realm were in that mix too. And there again is a look at the Salt Palace Convention Center. What you're seeing right there is about maybe 20% of the event, not even that probably, of that throng.
Absolutely.
It's not even, we can't even capture what's going on inside this building.
No, it's growing each year by year. This is the tournament to be at. All the best teams are here, some of the best players are here, the best competition to watch.
Going to reserve that ball, by the way. TripleCrownVolleyball.com is where you can find out more about this event. Alexis Cady is the server. Alexis digs now. Wave sends it over. Sliding in is McKenna Douglas. Block is up and water falls down. Nice power swing from Jordan Middleton.
I'm so impressed with how Storm works out of system. They were able to set up that final kill because when they are out of system, their back row hits out of the back row so well. They don't free ball it over. They jump and swing and put the other team in trouble. So really advanced skill.
Life support timeout now for Wave. They're in a big hole, down 1-0 and down 23-19 in set number 2. PrepVolleyball.com, your #1 destination for club, high school, and college volleyball news. Get weekly national club rankings by experts who actually see the teams play. Stay up to date with recruitment and commitments updates, including our college needs list. Check out comprehensive coverage of the top events across the country, including the nationwide Unsigned Showcase Series. PrepVolleyball.com. Natalie Jones served it. Looking to get to match point. If Storm gets this, they'll be on match point, and they do. And there it is again, off of the arm of Layla Daniel. 8 kills in a quick 2 sets.
All day she's been hitting that nice sharp angle, some through the middle of the block. That time she took a little bit off and was able to find a nice open court down the line.
Storm parents preparing to capture championship point. They've got several runs at match point now. The Storm out of Phoenix, Arizona. They're going to get it here. Congratulations to the Arizona Storm, 14s champions at the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. I want to ask you first, Coach. You just watched these 14s play. What's your observation on this match? Wave obviously got in a little deep here. They're a solid squad. Didn't show as well as they probably would like. What did you see on the court?
Well, again, I walk away being extremely impressed by both teams. Storm, their defense and then transitioning in the offense was exceptional. They were constantly attacking Wave, and they were just kind of relentless in that particular area. But their aptitude on the floor and the functionality, especially when they're out of system, is extremely impressive.
Congratulations to Wave, a slightly depleted squad, missing 1 player out with flu, 1 with ankle sprain. They get to the championship match of the 14s. And Coach Dave Rubio, you got to be licking your chops. You talked about volleyball in the state of Arizona on the rise, and this is a great example.
Right.
The Storm 14s are champions.
It certainly works in our advantage, and see if we can keep a few of those stars home.
We'll come back. Angela and I will wrap it up. We'll let Coach get back to recruiting. Dave Rubio, thanks for your time. Congratulations, Arizona Storm, the champions of the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT 14 Elite Division.